everybody. So today I put kind of a vague title because I didn't want to, people may not come to the meeting if I told you what it's really about. That's okay. I'll be nice. So a note about the presentation. So I'm going to be saying some things about our culture and things that we do. I want to be clear that I'm not talking about anybody personally in the room or watching, as I probably going to put this on YouTube. So I just want everybody to understand that I'm not talking about anybody personally, and I'm talking about things that we've done, our parents did, our grandparents did, our society does systematically. So I don't want anybody to feel like I'm coming after them or wagging a finger at them. Okay, I just want to be clear about that. Okay, so who in here, I want to show, just a show of hands, and I pretty much, I think I know the outcome of this vote, but I'm going to ask anyway. Who here thinks it's completely okay to cause unnecessary suffering of animals? Anybody here? Yeah, so it's okay, like if somebody kicks their dog for fun, as long as they're enjoying themselves and they kick a dog, causing unnecessary suffering of animals is completely okay, right? If it's unnecessary suffering, you're okay with that?
Oh no, I'm not.
You're not? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, somebody raised their hand, but they misunderstood the question. So
Thank you.
No one here is for unnecessary suffering of animals, causing unnecessary suffering, right? Why would we cause suffering of an innocent animal if it's unnecessary, right? Okay, so that's a pretty easy one. I pretty much thought I knew the outcome of that one, and I was right. Okay, so sentient. I want to talk about the definition of this word. So sentient, I think it's pronounced. Able to perceive or feel things, awake, aware. So animals, like you and I, are sentient. They can, it's just an awareness, basically, aware, you have, anybody who ever had a dog or cat knows, they're aware, they know what's going on, right? They're sentient. Pretty simple concept. Are plants sentient? Are they aware? Do they feel things? Do they feel pain? Do they suffer? No, plants can't. They actually can't because they don't have a central nervous system or brains, right? So they're not. So that's the kind of a big line in the sand, so to speak. Okay. So this is another word. I want to do some definitions today because there's some words I kind of want to discuss today. So speciesism. So what is that? It's really discrimination. Okay. So just like racism is discrimination or sexism, right? So racism says somehow that one race is somehow morally superior to another, right? Or sexism, men, usually it's men over women. Men are somehow superior to women in some way, right? It's discrimination, okay, based on irrelevant criteria, okay? Speciesism is the same idea. It's saying that one species is somehow more, has moral high ground over another, okay? And when we have discrimination, it causes otherism. It puts that other group in another category. And when you have otherism, you saw what happened in the past in history, right? We had racism. That other group was less morally, they weren't as morally superior as this group, so we can just enslave them and use them for however we want, right? And so, discrimination, speciesism, okay? So just want to kind of mention that. I'll get back to that. So slavery is obviously wrong, right? But what makes slavery wrong, right? What about slavery that makes it wrong? I mean, obviously it's wrong, but if you had to put into words, okay, what makes it wrong, right? So what makes it wrong is that when a person is property, they don't have moral value. They're a thing, okay? They're a thing like this cup, okay, or this piece of paper. They're, at least according to the eyes of the law, right? They're property. They're owned by somebody. And when somebody is a thing, that's wrong because the owner of that thing decides their well-being in every way, right? And we decided as a society that that's wrong. It had to end. It had to stop because people aren't things, right? They feel pain. They have families. They're people, right? So clearly slavery is wrong, right? Because treating someone as a thing, as property, they're not part of the moral community, right? They don't get to, and so they're not a thing. And I'm happy to say that it's illegal all over the world. Unfortunately, it still exists, but it's the underworld. It's black market. It's not really accepted anywhere in the world. Thank God. We've gotten past that. So here's the thing. It's a simple one. Either you have moral value, or you're a thing. You're a resource, a commodity, to be used, to be bought and sold. You can't be both. You can't have both moral value and be a thing. It's one or the other. It's not kind of both. It's one or the other, right? That's a pretty simple concept. It's basic logic. If you have moral value, you're not a thing. You're not a thing that, because if you're a thing, then you don't really have moral value anymore, because your owner, like owning a car, you get to decide if you do your oil change, you take care of your car or not. So one person's going to take care of the car better than another. Just like if there were slave owners who took care of their slaves better than others, that make the institution of slavery okay? Of course not. It's horrific. So I want to define what the word vegan means, because I don't think a lot of people know what that means. Not really. So it's not a diet. It's not just eating plant-based diet. That's not what it is. It's part of it. It's not what it is. So this is the definition from the Vegan Society. Basically, the idea is to exclude where practicable, all forms of exploitation of animals, cruelty to animals for food, clothing, and any other purpose. So where practicable. So okay, so if I drive on a road that somehow our roads, our infrastructure, there were animals exploited to make them, what am I going to do? I go to a supermarket as a vegan, and they sell meat there. Am I going to boycott the supermarket? That's ridiculous, right? So it's where practicable, okay? It doesn't merely mean convenience. Like if I'm on the way, if I'm at an airport, there's no vegan food, I just wait, all right? It's not about convenience. But I just wanted to define it for you so that you know what it is, because I don't think a lot of people know what it is. So this is a word I want to talk about, necessary. Now we talked about unnecessary suffering of animals earlier, right? So what is necessary? I kind of want to define that, because I think a lot of people think if they say, I love bacon, so I can't be vegan. Yeah, let's talk about what necessary is. So required to be done, needed, essential. So necessary means, I know you all know what it means, but I kind of wanted to put it up there. The idea being something is necessary, you have to do it, okay? You have to. You don't have a choice, right? Necessary. So everybody seems to think that and I thought this too, most of my life, that there was something in animal products. There was something in them, whether it be a special version of protein, I've heard that one, a complete protein, right? Or B12, or amino acids. So this is from the American Dietetic Association. It's the biggest health-based organization in the country. And they're basically saying that vegetarian and vegan diets are nutritionally adequate. Now they say they may provide health benefits. I'm not even getting into that. They're nutritionally adequate. And for all stages of life, let's not forget. Pregnancy, lactation, infancy, childhood, adolescence, and athletes too. Okay, so meaning that we don't need the animal products, that you can get all your nutritional needs from a plant-based diet, period. You don't, I believe that we did too. It's not true. It's a fallacy. It's not true. So this is a word people like to throw around. So you can go to buy eggs, and they're humane eggs, right? There's humane meat, humane milk, right? Humane. Having or showing compassion or benevolence. So is there a humane way to torture someone? Is there humane torture? Is there humane child abuse, for example? Is there a humane way to do the wrong thing? There isn't. Okay, so for example, you'll see humane eggs. Okay, I just want to throw something out here for you. Eggs, 50% of egg-laying hens, well, 50% of egg-laying chickens that are born are ground up alive on the day they're born. They're trash. They're trash for the egg industry because they're male. They don't lay eggs. So they grind them up alive. Sorry for people eating in here, but they're trash. This is just how when somebody or something is a property, a thing, they're ground up alive because they're just thin. We're not concerned about if they feel pain. They're a thing. So how about would you like to see some slaughterhouse footage? Anybody want to see that? No, of course you don't. Why? It's horrific, right? Nobody wants to see slaughterhouse footage, and I'm not going to show you slaughterhouse footage. It's horrific, right? But why not? It's where your food comes from, right? Why don't we take like children to see the slaughterhouse for like class trips? We don't do that, right? Why not? I mean, it's where your food comes from, right? So if it's horrific and it would probably be offensive. If I put it up here, people will be offended. They probably want to leave the room, right? And I wouldn't even blame you. So if it's so horrendous to show you, and I would probably get in trouble. I work here for people watching on YouTube. I would probably go to Human Resources and lose my job if I put up slaughterhouse footage. And all I'm doing is showing you what's going on. I'm simply showing you where our food comes from. So I'm just showing you literally what happens, industry standard, what goes on. But somehow that's too offensive. But if it's so offensive, then why is it okay for us to pay for it to happen and cause it to happen? because we are responsible. This is you know, this is a service, a business, so they're providing what the customers are paying for. So this is a business. It's you know, just the idea of supply and demand. So they're supplying the demand. That's all they're doing. So if it's too offensive to show you, why is it not too offensive to cause to happen? Because we are responsible for it. We're paying for it. We're directly causing it. Like if I hired somebody to kill somebody, I would be guilty in court of law of murder, right? So I'm paying for someone else to do what I'm not willing to do myself. So here's one. You might even hear some vegans do this. Please just consider going vegan. Please just try it. Try it out. I even did it for a while. Try it. How about meatless Mondays? Just try it. Just think about it. Oh, it's so, be nice to animals. Be nice. Yeah. So if I did this with racism or women's rights, right? If I said to you, think about being fair to women. Think about not battering women. Think about not victimizing women. Just think about it. Maybe we'll have victim-free Mondays. You know? It's horrific, right? It's laughable. What is laughable? It's ridiculous, right? It's completely ridiculous. Right. Because it's a matter of justice to be fair to women. It's a matter of justice to be fair to different races and not treat them differently. It's justice. I'm not going to ask everybody to be vegan. I'm not going to ask you. It's justice. So just to give you an idea of we're eating babies, just to be clear. So here is when they're slaughtered, just a nice little chart. Here's their natural lifespan. It's so natural what we're doing. So veal calves, which by the way, dairy created veal. That's where veal comes from, dairy. The male, when the males come out, they turn them into veal. Chickens, they actually left out the baby chicks in the egg industry, which are like 1 or 2 days, and they grind them up alive. But this is, just to give you an idea, we're eating babies. Not trying to make you feel bad, but we are. That's what we're doing. So here's just, I can't spend too much time on this. It's really a moral discussion, but I just wanted to show you how climate change is 51% owed to animal agriculture. Only 13% goes to transportation. It's a much bigger problem. And all they talk about on these climate change specials you'll see on the Science Channel is transportation. It's a little bit, why are they leaving that out? Well, because of money. Hamburger, 660 gallons of water, 2 months of showers for one hamburger, 2 months. That's the kind of water usage we're talking about. It's 2,400 gallons per pound to produce beef, and 25 gallons per pound for wheat, just to give you an idea. 91% of the Amazon rainforest, not to cut down trees to make flooring or something. It's actually animal agriculture. 1 to 2 acres every minute. So how many acres just during the speech they cut down? I don't know, about 10, 15 acres. Here's one. 82% of the world's starving children live in countries where grain is grown there and then sent to feed animals to feed us. It's incredibly inefficient to produce. So just some more about world hunger. So basically, do you want to be a part of causing world hunger or ending world hunger? Again, not a waggy finger. I'm just saying this is what's going on. I'm just showing you what's going on. So this is just how many animals are killed per hour in our country. So just per hour. So just during this meeting, this is how many animals were killed during this meeting. So there over 1 million chickens during this meeting. just to give you the idea of the carnage involved. You know what I mean? Because there's 7 billion of us, and we're just eating it, and eating it, and eating it. So just to be clear about that. So this is happening. So I just want you to understand. It's not sustainable to stay on the path we're on. We can't stay on the path we're on. The planet can't sustain it. Like we can't sustain it. We can't feed everybody. We can't stay on the path we're on. In fact, this is growing so quickly that in the U.S. alone, it was a 6% increase. So we went from 1% to 6% of the population of vegans between 2014 and 2017. So it's happening. It's just a matter of what side of history do you want to be on. Do you want to be on the side of history? I'm not trying to, people at home too, just in general. Ask yourself, do you want to be on the side of history that was for the oppressor, that was for violence and oppressing, or do you want to be on the side of history that was for justice? That's up to you. I mean, that's your call. But if you want to know more, there's more information there. You can ask me. We have a nationwide vegan network, by the way, now that's in 3 different locations in Scottsdale, Harleysville, and Columbus. There's a great website for more information if you want to know more. I'm saying go vegan for a matter of justice. It's go vegan because it's a moral responsibility. Everybody in the room says that they're against animal, and most people would say, any decent person would say, they're against causing unnecessary suffering of animals. But they're causing unnecessary suffering of animals every day, and they don't have to. We don't have to wear them. We don't have to use them for clothing. We don't have to use them for entertainment. We don't have to put makeup in their eyes and all this crazy stuff. So it's not necessary. So if you want to know more, you can ask me. You can go here. Go vegan because it's a moral responsibility.